Hello there, Seraphim17 once again, introducing you to my Devil May Cry 3 Dante Must Die difficulty video walkthrough. This is mission 19 and this is Forces Collide. So the start of this mission you're going to be taking on, I think they're called, I think they're called Wraths. They are those shimmering, like ephemeral red and blue demon guys with the scythes that kind of have all the Sin's moves combined. They can throw things at you, they can do dashes at you, they can teleport, they're pretty nasty. But you can control them very easily with Agni and Rudra if you use the Tempest move, and you can catch them all, because you'll notice, aside from the guy that was invulnerable while he came out of the teleport to do the move at me, if I were to do it right now, I would get them all juggled, and there's nothing they can do because it keeps knocking them into the air. But I don't get much chance to fight these guys because they're only on the later missions, and I very rarely play the later missions because I don't think they're that good. So I'm just going to be fighting them any old way, which is probably quite sloppy, as you can see, as they're jumping around and throwing shit at me. But the best way to do it is the ultimate Tempest. It gets rid of them really quick. Use your Devil Trigger explosions. Bear in mind they've got a lot of lives, so try and hurt them all and then kill them all at the same time. And more importantly, just try and enjoy the fight, because the camera's not great in this room, but it's not bad either. It's better than a lot of the areas, and it's a good opportunity to practice. Look at it like that. If you're getting beat up, you're practicing. That's how I think anyway. But there is one fight in this chapter before the boss that is a bit of a pain in the arse. Everything else is kind of manageable as long as you know what you're doing, but the one is a timed fight against this enemy and the Devil Trigger, which makes them exceptionally difficult to kill. And I failed it a bunch of times because it just regenerates the enemies when you fail it and it starts again. So a lot of it is down to how quick you can kill them, a lot of it is down to the luck of how many you can hurt at the same time and do massive damage to. But if you keep at it, you should be able to get through, and if you can't do it, just use a couple of items. If you've got nothing against that, it'll probably make it a lot easier. But they are sponges for damage, I'll give them that much, and I just missed with my real impact there, which is not very good, but what can you do? That's one of those really fussy moves on this game. But once this guide's all up, you're going to be seeing Devil May Cry 1. It's all recorded, I just need to drop some commentary on it, and it is a significantly shorter game than this one, so if you're worried about that one after this, because this has been such an ordeal, the first game's much shorter. It's much easier as well. The only challenge on the first game is the bosses, because the enemies die really quickly, and if you let them Devil Trigger, you're in for a fucking nightmare, because don't let them Devil Trigger. Trust me on this. I have a room where a bunch of fetishes Devil Trigger and they don't die. They make enemies on this look like they've got small life. Unbelievable. But it's the bosses on the first game that are hard, and it's merely because they can kill you in about 2 to 3 hits, sometimes in 1 if you're unlucky. And they take a pounding, so, you know, just get ready for some interesting fights. As I jump cancel that last guy, and we get the mirror to jump into to move through this vision of hell. And I love the vision of hell in this game. I think it's interesting, I think it's unique, and I think it's just... A lot of games try to make stuff look interesting and make it look, you know, otherworldly, and it generally involves a lot of the cliches and a lot of the tropes, but this game somehow manages to pull it off for me, because it's just something about it. It reminds me of like the fantasy of a Vampire Hunter D novel. It's just great. And if you've not figured out what you're doing here, you can't hurt the guys in the middle. They're kind of like shells, and they'll just beat the fuck out of you if you try. What you need to do is you need to smash the mirrors to kill them, and they are the green mirror. So look around the room, as soon as you see a tint of green, attack it with whatever aerial moves you want to do to stay out of danger, and as soon as it disappears, move to the next mirror. And you can use your Devil Trigger, you can, you know, heighten and speed up the process, but I don't know if I do on this first one, because you've got to smash a couple of them to do the room. But we'll soon find out. Just keep being evasive. There you go. There goes the first mirror. There goes the first bunch of guys. Get the orbs. And then just find the next mirror. And perhaps you could try something like a real impact on it, and it might go down faster. But the wind-up time, you might end up just missing it completely. So I go for the aerial crosses, because the aerial crosses is such a powerful move, and it's very quick. But there's the next mirror, taking us into the next area. And this is the timed fight. So do you see the hourglass behind? When all of the sand runs dry in that hourglass, you know, the beast will be eternally doomed and never turn back into a man and get to dance with Belle at the end with that awesome song. No, you'll fail. And you'll have to fight these guys again. And there's another spawn after you kill these. I think there's 2 more enemies that spawn once these guys are dead. And you need to just kill them as fast as you can. And the best way to do this is to hurt them all and then finish them all at the same time. That way you won't have 1 or 2 that's Devil Triggered that take a week. This is harder to do than it is to say, obviously, because damaging every enemy equally is something you can't really monitor unless you're locking on a lot, and I don't really lock on this game. Everything you do has to be in the mindset of these guys need to die as fast as possible. Like right there, I managed to release my Devil Trigger Flux, and I managed to kill one of them and knock two of them down. Now these two are together, I'm going to do as many of the Tempests as I can to clean them up, but I just got hit and I'm in a little bit of trouble. But this is one of those games where you are just as deadly when you have full life as when you have 1 cube of life. Never give up, never ever think, oh, I'm going to die now because my life's so low, because sometimes you'll do your best work when you're in that desperation mode anyway. And there's still a little bit of time left, and there's only one guy left to kill, so if I can quickly take this cat out, there we go. The room is finished, and that is the last challenge of the level aside from the boss. And I'm going to show you a super safe technique to beat the boss. It's not quick, it's not fun, but it's the way everybody does it because it's the safest, and it's a really cheap and really annoying boss. Which I think is super frustrating because this game's filled with some great bosses. There's a couple of ones that are absolute dog shit, but Arkham should have been such a better boss because he's an important character. He should have literally looked like Sparda, and it should have been a one-on-one fight or a two-on-one fight against a guy that was good, that you could learn, that you could have fun with. But instead, you just get this massive purple pile of dog shit that does the most cheesy moves you can imagine. But I'm going to probably change to Quicksilver, even though the quickest way to do damage against Arkham is actually with Swordmaster, because you can do the switch cancelling attack with Nevin and Beowulf in midair on his back, and it does massive damage, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that. We'll soon find out. But anyhow, thanks for watching, I hope it's helping, and you take care now.